And we are back. So, last we left off, young Mr. McCready was in a spot of trouble as he was clutched in the talons of a foul creature of the night, a mighty, enormous Vargeist, flying in the direction of the Black Barrows. In addition to this, we left Marius and Bragadine having to descend the crumbling tower, the very unsteady keep that they had made sanctuary in after Seamus was abducted. And through some unfortunate rolls, almost lost Bragadine to a treacherous fall. However, Marius recovered him, and much like every other adventure we've had, he carried Bragadine upon his back in an awkward fashion and brought him down to safety. And we are going to pick up with Seamus McCready. As you're not sure how much time has passed, Seamus. You keep drifting in and out of consciousness in this monotonous flying and screaming. And your fear ends up ebbing away because over time, you just get used to your situation. You feel yourself finally descending through this unnatural mist, Seamus. And you see before you, though it is extremely dark. It's almost in that dawn kind of light, that's where everything's somewhat gray tinged and whitewashed. That twilight, as it was, that you see tucked away deep in these mountains, past the sparse trees, and now you see gnarled roots and various other swamp-like foliage, which is odd to have up in these high mountains. You see that there are these large mounds. You're not exactly sure the scale, how big, but they look very, very large, and they're obviously not natural, as there's a bit of a plateau here, and they are running in pairs, and there are 6 of them. So 3 pairs of these large mounds, and they have strange stones upon the tops of them, and there is odd blue balefire winking in and out of existence within some of the barrows themselves and along the top of them. It's all very, very strange and almost ethereal in nature. You do see that the stones and some of the limited architecture that you can tell, you see entrances, what appears to be large doors made of thick, black, almost basalt-like tinged stone that looks heavy and massive. They appear to be at least 10 to 15 feet tall. We're going to go with 15 feet tall and about 10 feet wide. So tall and thin. And for the most part, they are closed except for one of the barrows, the ones closest to you where the Vargeist is descending, is opened inward. Outward. Opened outward. And you can see that it's a very thick, it's at least 3 foot thick of stone. And there are strange glyphs and carvings made into them. And if you didn't know any barrow better, you would know that this must be the infamous Black Barrows that you overheard Mr. Freeze describing. And as you get about 20 feet off the ground, you suddenly feel yourself in free fall, Seamus, as you as you were just let go and plummet to the earth, taking 15 wounds as you smack into the floor.
Oh.
Do you go to 0?
I do.
Do you go past 0?
Do I get to use any of my armor and toughness bonus?
You can use your armor and toughness.
Then I hit 0 exactly.
0 exactly. That is fortunate. So you hit 0, meaning you're prone currently, but you don't take any critical injuries. And somehow that left arm doesn't open up again, and you don't begin bleeding by some miracle. So you keeping your wits about you for now. But it is eerily quiet here. There's not even the sound of bugs or birds or anything, and you can't really tell what time of day it is because it's been proverbially dark the entire trip. And like I said, you don't know how long you were flying for. But what would you like to do, Seamus?
Guess I'd probably look around and try to get up.
Okay, you cannot stand until you regain a wound. If you have any resolve points, you can use one to regain a wound and stand up. Or
I shall.
You can? Okay, you do that. So you use a resolve point and you manage to force yourself to stand. And as you stand, you hear the Vargeist, the winds fluttering away as it's flying off and screaming up and away through the kind of unnatural mist floating above. You see the Barrows before you, and the ground is muddy and thick, and your boots almost sink into it. But that's all you can see for now.
I would probably then try to at least reload one gun unless I can get all 3.
Okay, go ahead and give me those ballistic skill rolls. We'll see how many success levels you get.
Now that I'm in a strange place. That is a 30 out of... if I'm still feared, it's a 30 out of 47.
You don't have the fear anymore. You got used to it, so your fear's gone.
All right.
So 30 out of 67?
67.
So I will say within a short time, you're able to reload all 3 of your pistols with the powder that you have upon your person. And you're keeping an eye out, looking around as you do so. Mm-hmm. Are you moving anywhere?
After they're reloaded, I'll probably look around, look behind me, see if I'm completely fenced in.
You see the mist is what you see. You're not sure what's in that direction.
And then there's that gate open in front of me.
Yeah, it's essentially a door. Very heavy door that's opened outwards, and you can see flickering light somewhere deeper inside.
Oh. I will... So the mist is just completely behind me. I can't see through it.
No, and in fact, it's hard to see most places. You got a decent sight from your aerial descent, but since you've hit the ground, it appears to be a little bit more thick, and it is difficult to discern.
Alright, well, I will, I guess, walk in towards that door, and I believe Bragadine gave me a health potion or 2.
I believe he gave you 1. Did he give you 2?
Yeah. Everybody had 1.
Everybody had 1, yes. You got 1.
Yeah.
Alright, I will pop that health potion
You
as I walk in.
Yeah, you take it and you begin to drink it down. Some of it spills across your cheek, and you throw it down to the side, and you... Are you trying to do this stealthily, or are you just moving in?
Yeah, probably I just slowly and cautiously.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
I failed that. That's a 97.
Okay. It's the mud is thick and your feet are sinking, and it's hard. And with the numerous amounts of metal armor that you now have on your person, These stealth checks are going to be harder anyway. And you're making some noise, just trying to, as you are freeing your feet from the ground itself. And you manage to get to the entrance of this first barrow. Go ahead and give me a intuition check.
Ooh, that is a 17 out of 51.
You begin to step forward, Seamus, and as your foot moves into the barrow, and you see the ground here is firm. It's not as loose and muddy as it is outside. You freeze for a moment as you see a thin wire. Just ankle level that you are about to step down on. Then you glance to the side and up. And you don't outwardly see anything, but you know there's wires connected to something. Best to not disturb.
Step over the wire.
Okay, you step over. Feet firmly plant on the ground. Nothing happens.
Carrying on.
Okay, you begin walking inwards again, now more on alert for any more traps of a sort. You go down this darkened tunnel, and you do see some flickering light around a bend. But before you get too far, Seamus, you hear growling. And then barking. But not canine barking, like barking of some wild beast. And it's coming from outside the barrow. But then it's not at the same time. It's like echoing down the halls as well.
Oh, guess I'll... Is there any other direction to go besides where the light was coming from?
With your limited eyesight, it is difficult to see down here without providing some kind of alternative source of light.
All right, well, I will head towards the light direction.
Okay, you begin nervously shifting towards the direction of the flickering candlelight. You turn the bend, and you see a series of wrought iron cages lined up against the edge of a wall. There's a single torch flickering dimly. The first cage appears to be empty. The second, there's something hunched down deep within it. And these cages are next to each other, as almost like a cell block. They're all interconnected, with iron bars separating each, the three of them. And they span about a 30-foot gap. So you have around 10 feet, at like a 10 by 10 cell. In the second cell, you see some kind of form hunched down in the darkness. You're not exactly sure. And in the third cell, you see somebody or something hanging from shackles from the ceiling. It's hard to make out, though.
Can I reach said torch?
Sure. You move over to the torch, take it from the sconce that it's in, and now you have a flickering, dimly lit torch. And the wood that it's made of feels wet and not right for some reason, but somehow the torch is burning.
Would I be able to see what's like hanging from the ceiling, like a detailed view of it?
Are you going to approach the cells?
Probably just the one of the person hanging.
Okay, you approach the one of the person or creature hanging, and as you approach the cell, the flickering light illuminates that the walls of this barrow are in fact made out of some darkened mud, perhaps, almost black in nature. And despite the wrought iron, there are gaps above and below where it looks like something has tried to burrow its way out of to no avail. But regardless, you approach this final cell, and as you get closer, you see the hanging form. It looks human. You get the sconce, the torch closer. You have to get it very close, and you begin to peer into the cell, and you see a man dangling by his ankles. His arms are dragging the ground, and his throat has been severed to a point that his head resembles a Pez dispenser, and it appears like there is no blood left in this corpse. And he is slowly shifting back and forth, like some kind of ticking pendulum of a old clock.
Well, like any good movie, I'm going to push on.
You move away from this cell, and you hear some rustling from the second cell. Do you continue, or do you investigate?
I don't want to investigate, but I'm going to.
Okay. You turn back, and you slowly illuminate the second cell, and as you begin to illuminate, you see that there have been, it looks like matted furs have been placed on the floor of the second cell. And then you see a form in the corner trying to pull away from the torchlight. As you raise it higher, you see a trembling figure. What do you do?
Does it look human?
It's hard to tell. It's in the back corner. And like I said, this torch is not exactly bright.
Mm-hmm. Probably try to whisper to it. Speak Reichspiel.
And when you say that, he cannot be. And the form shifts and begins approaching the bars, Seamus. And you see a dark fur fall away, and a mud and blood-stained white dress about a lithe female form. And you recognize the features of young Emma Benoit. Is that you, Sir Seamus?
It is, my lady.
How did you find me? You must go. You must hide.
I've got to get you out of here. Is there any key?
He. And as she begins to scream out, Seamus, You looking for this? And we're going to cut away from Seamus McCready right now.
No. Shit.
And we are going to return to Bragadine and Marius as they just successfully...
That's my sister, bro.
Say what?
My sister, bro.
I know it is. We are going to cut away to Bragadine and Marius as they just touched the touchdown from the crumbling tower, which looks precariously like it's going to fall off the edge, or the top half at least. It's going to fall off the edge down into the chasm below. But currently, everything is on fire. It is a vision out of Moore's hell, as it was. Marius, as you begin glancing about, pick ready. There are undead that have been slain, and many of the party that you ventured with dead around you as well, bleeding out. Currently, there are 2 men-at-arms fending off at least 12 zombies that they are pushing back and attempting to knock aside at the edge of the chasm where the moat and everything is down currently. That is straight ahead of you. Off to your right, there's a few zombie stragglers that are kind of aimlessly wandering around. And to your left, Bragadine and Marius, you see the valiant Knight of the Grail, Tristan Devry, who is currently in a heated battle with 2 creatures of humanoid shape that have extremely pale skin. They have numerous scars upon their armor, which appears to be a blackened plate metal. And one of them lies without a head, just inches from the 2 of you. You have no idea where the head is, but there is just a corpse laying there. And they are locked in mortal combat. We will start with Bragadine, since he was the first in initiative order. What would you like to do, Bragadine?
Do the... So they have like chest plates.
They're in like full plate armor. You would recognize them, Bragadine, as the same knights that escorted Mr. Michal Fries away from the killing field that became the tournament.
Worse than dogs. Worse than dogs. Marius. I don't think we will be of any use to Sir Tristan over there. But, and I remember from the top it was a sea of zombies behind, in front of us. But over here too, it would be to our right is where there's a few zombies.
There's just a couple stragglers, yes. You're not sure exactly what they're doing.
I think we should go over there and see if we perhaps there's a way we can sneak out.
You want to run away?
Well, do you think we should fight?
You are Bragadine the Knight. I assume you wanted to stay and
Seamus
fight with your comrades.
The monster took him. We must move quickly to save Seamus. Well,
very, very chivalrous of you.
We do it your way, Marius. Which you want to attack the zombies and save the men-at-arms? We can always get one of those. Or shall we go and potentially dishonor Sir Tristan by implying that he needs help? Antonia is a different place. We are much more civilized there. You must understand. Our actions speak words.
Yes, your actions do speak words, Bragadine. We're still in combat, right?
You were in combat, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I'll just let you do your thing, and I'll follow up.
I guess I'm gonna draw my sword, chastened, and head over towards the guys fighting Sir Tristan.
Okay. You gird yourself, Bragadine. You draw your sword and you very meekly begin moving in their direction. I need you to make me a cool test as you approach them.
I expected. Stupid Marius, why doesn't he not know when to run?
What? This is very
hold on.
okay.
This is another one. I rolled a 44. Let's do the math here. Okay, so cool. 10 on top of 57. Oh yeah, so I got a 44 under 57.
Okay. All right. So you managed to steel yourself, Bragadine, from any fear that may have creeped into your bones, as these creatures are moving at supernatural speeds, and Tristan is matching them blow for blow as best he can, but it looks like he's beginning to falter. You see numerous deep cuts into his skin, and there's blood flowing openly about the Grail Knight, and he looks like he's in dire need of aid. Are you going to charge one of the vampires? As they are not wearing helms, and you can openly see fangs and pale skin.
Yes.
You charge the nearest creature of the night.
When I struck
Go ahead.
I kissed the hilt and the crosspiece. That's what the crosspiece of my sword. Lady, again, I beseech thee. And I charge.
All right. As you charge, the creature has two swords, one short, one long, armed similarly towards as Sir Mihail Fries was. Coincidence? Maybe. You charge it from behind, and as you begin charging in it, go ahead and make your attack, Bragadine.
I need that 44 now. Oh no. That's oh shit, that's a 7. Wait. Hold on.
Minus 20 still.
7 under 37. So 3 levels of success.
Okay. You move in and you for the lady, and you go to swing, and as you do, the creature ducks underneath, and you swing wide.
Oh man.
And as you do, it stands up and is going to try to open your throat, Bragadine. I need you to defend yourself.
16 out of 37. So 2 levels of success.
You barely manage to move your sword up and plink away a decapitating blow. But it's going to follow it up with a second. So I need you to defend yourself one more time.
Do I get momentum from the last?
You do get your momentum.
Success.
You have one momentum now.
15! Man, I needed
Out
these.
of?
So 15 out of 47. So that would be...
All right.
Yeah.
The
3 levels
second,
success.
almost too quick to see, but you've been in rather harrowing, life-defining experiences over the past few months. And just somehow you know where the blow's going to land. And you take a pace back, and though you can't see it coming, you instinctually parry downwards and strike aside a debilitating blow from finding purchase. And the creature hisses in your face and then takes a step back. And that's all it can do, Bragadine. Well done. That brings us to Marius Wolf. What would you like to do?
I guess I'd probably follow suit if Bragadine's charging that guy.
The same creature?
Yep.
Okay, you move in as Braggadine somewhat distracted it. You can go ahead and make me an attack, and you get a +10 since he's engaged with it.
All right. That's a 42 out of 80.
And hold on one second, I got to roll for this. Ah, damn it, man. The creature barely sees you coming, Marius, and moves to block your strike with its long sword. And as it does, you hammer down with such force. You had a 42, right?
Yes.
Okay. That you shatter through the top of his blade, cling through it, and the pick bursts through his right arm. How much damage is that?
That is 16 points of damage
man.
plus piercing.
Holy shit. Yeah. All right. As he flinches backwards and pulls his arm out from the hook in your pick, and he's holding the equivalent of 2 short swords. He glanced between the two of you, and blood is openly flowing from that right arm. Would you like to do anything else, Marius?
Just kind of grip my pick and you will see more soon.
Ooh.
And that'll be it.
Grace Moore's garden, as it was. You begin to pace around, and it's at this point that Braggadine, you're about to see your opening, and as you do, you see further to your right, you see Tristan facing now a lone creature of the night, and what was a losing battle is now even. He's no longer in a horrible situation, though it appears that he is still heavily wounded. But it is now your turn, Braggadine, as Marius has joined you in facing down this foul night creature.
Bratonia! And I attack.
And you attack. Make me that attack, Braggadine.
Alright, so I have 2 levels of momentum too, right?
You do, but you
Well,
do have a
that's
minus
successful.
20, so you're even. And you get a plus 10, though. You get a plus 10 because you're engaged with Marius.
Okay. We need that because we rolled 50. Let me see. That's 57, 67. So I got 1 level of success.
All right. You seen an opportunity, Braggadine. You launch in with a thrust. And it is awkward. You're using your left hand, your right still clutched at your side. And as you thrust forward, the vampire slips easily by and rolls across your side. And I need you to try to defend yourself, Braggadine.
Alright. Is that my momentum is gone too?
1 momentum is gone.
Okay, cool. Not cool, but yeah. Alright. I get 10 plus 10 because he's engaged?
No, not undefensively.
Alright. Okay, well, I rolled 41 and I needed a 37 or less.
Okay, Braggadine. As he rolls across your side, the broken longsword rakes across your left arm. Your sword arm right now, as you cry out. And you are going to take 13 wounds.
Okay.
You can subtract your armor and toughness.
So it's just going to be the armor on that part, though, right?
Yes,
What's
just
armor said?
that piece. Whatever you have on your arm, and then your toughness bonus.
All right. That takes me to 0.
Even 0 or past 0?
1 past 0.
1 past 0. So it becomes a critical wound that you cannot negate with shedding armor because it goes past 0. All right, I will roll then for this. This is your first wound, though. So you get a minus 20 to this, or minus 40, I believe, as what I do for you guys. Let's see here. Arm. Oh, not so bad. As he spins and rakes it across your left arm, Bragadine, he strikes deep, cutting you, and you flinch away. And as you do, you lose your grip on your sword, and he smacks it aside with his free hand, launching it about, 30 feet, sticking hard into the stonework nearby, set firmly. Definitely out of your grasp as you fall to the ground. And as you fall prone at his feet with his other sword, he is going to stab you in the gut as you are laying there.
Oh!
You do get to attempt a dodge, I believe. Let me make sure what this is going to be, though, since you're prone. I want to say it's just minuses. I think you still are allowed to. One moment. Prone. Crawl. Crawl. Oh, he just gets a plus 20. So go ahead and make your dodge, Bragadine.
If I failed it, could I then use a resilience point to just automatically pass?
No, you can use a fate point to prevent this from happening if you need to. But no, it's not gonna be the same.
You. All right, so I'm dodging?
Yes, make me a dodge roll.
All right, viewers, we're hoping for that 1 again. Nope. 47, and I needed 13, so it's 3 levels of failure.
3 levels of failure. All right, Bragadine. Unfortunately, this isn't, you're past 0, so let's see what happens here.
Mary's had to give him the guilty treatment.
I mean,
Did he ran in? Bragadine ran right in?
I could just see Bragadine just being like, nope. Just running off. I don't know.
Oof.
What would the Grail Knight think?
Yeah, I worded that, but I don't want to dishonor him by helping him.
Grail Knight would be dead.
Whatever, he's going to save me, man. I rushed in there to try and help him out.
Okay. As he plunges the sword into your gut, Bragadine, and it digs in deep, and you cry out. And he opens a cut just below your ribs, and you have 2 bleeding conditions, which means that you immediately, blood spews forward, and you lose consciousness.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's all he can do. He can't rip you apart any further as he leaves the blade inserted into your body and then stands to face Marius Wolf. Marius, it's your turn.
All right. I will attack him.
Go ahead and attack.
That is going to be a 55 out of 80.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay. 42.
42. Okay. He's going to sacrifice a piece of the plate mail on his right arm as you plunge into it. What is your total damage, though?
Let me think which was better. I use the damaging. So it'll be 5 success levels plus 18 damage.
18. All right. 2, 6. Oof. Ooh, shit. He flinches back. He looks hurt. Pretty badly hurt, even. And as this happens, you hear a cry out as well behind you, Marius. As you glance back and you see Tristan go to a knee. The Grail Knight falls back and plunges his sword in the ground, keeping himself steady, and looks like he's openly bleeding from a vicious wound across his throat, and blood is pulsing rapidly from it. He's not looking very good at all, and the other vampire is circling him like a wolf circling prey. It is now your opponent's turn.
Okay.
As he stands again and is going to try to launch himself over Bragadine's corpse, or soon-to-be corpse, and bury his blade in your chest. So go ahead and defend yourself, Marius.
Okay. That's going to be a 9 out of 90.
Oof. Are you blocking or are you dodging?
Yeah, blocking.
Blocking.
Blocking with the.
Yeah, you blocking as he
thingies on.
thrusts you easily, smack it aside, two-handed, and you feel the strength behind his blow. I need you to defend yourself one more time as he launches himself at you with his mouth open wide.
Oh. Alright.
Oh, shit.
That's going to be a 38 out of 100.
Unfortunately, Marius,
I heard it.
Oh no!
I rolled a 1.
1?
I heard it.
That's the mall.
Yep. Do you have any armor on your head?
I have my coif.
Would you like to sacrifice a piece of your coif?
Yes, I'll sacrifice my coif begrudgingly.
So you can degrade it by one. By one. Just say coif 10 more times, okay. Why don't you? So you can degrade the armor by 1 for your coif. As the fangs pierce through and snag a piece of it, softening the blow. However, he does still find purchase into your throat as he latches onto you. And you can feel some of your vitality drain into his mouth. You take 15 wounds that you can subtract your toughness and armor that you have.
Alright. Still pretty
Are you still standing, Marius?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And as he... as his head throws back as he stumbles away from you, you see instantly the wound in his right arm begin to... You see the rotten, well, not rotten, but the rotten kind of nasty mass of tissue that was exposed begin to shift and become whole. And you see pale skin underneath. And that is the end of his turn.
Do I lose all momentum?
You just lose 1.
1, okay.
Just 1. And that brings us to Bragadine, who is in the throes of dying, unless he has any resolve points.
I have one resolve point.
Okay.
Typical Bragadine adventure.
Yeah. Would you like to use it to make one of your bleeding conditions go away?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we
so
will.
now you just have one bleeding condition. You will have to roll that D100, though.
Okay. And I'm unconscious.
You are unconscious. If you roll above
Okay.
a 90, Bragadine will have bled out in this moment.
No. I've lost 2 fate points already in this adventure.
I know.
No, it's not going to happen this time. Yeah. It almost went to 100, but it slipped over to 45.
Okay. You're fine, Bragadine. You are stable for now. So, you're still bleeding, but you're somewhat stable. So that brings us to Marius Wolf. It is your turn.
I'm gonna attack him.
Make that attack roll.
It's gonna be a 19 out of 90.
Ooh, man. How much damage is that? Because it definitely hits.
That is 21.
Damn.
No, 22. 22. Plus armor pierce.
Yes. It's a good thing his flesh just knit together as he reaches his left hand out and the head of the pick pierces through the hand itself and then pushes him with unnatural strength as the head of the pick plunges into his shoulder and he hisses outwards and tries to push you away as it is now his turn. And he is going to try to go for your throat. He looks severely hurt again.
Trying to bite me.
He is actually trying to take your head off with his sword. So go ahead and defend yourself.
Okay. That's going to be a 64 out of 100.
That is actually enough as you duck down below and batter aside the blade. But in doing so, you leave yourself open for a claw that he's going to try to slash. So I need you to defend yourself one more time.
Okay. That is a 90 out of
No, it's not.
110.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Critical success.
Go ahead and roll me a D100. Well, hold on. How much damage is it?
2 plus 15. 15 damage.
15. Let me make sure this...
If he doesn't shed armor, you know.
How do you want to do this, Marius?
I think as he's a claw attack, I guess.
Yeah, he's trying to reach down as you kind of parry aside the blow, and he's reaching out for your throat, trying to just tear out one of your arteries.
I just want to kind of like pivot my body to the left and like dodge the claw attack and just take Dringies on and slam it down on top of his head, like the very top of his head.
And
as I do so, just
you completely
Sigma
catch him off
protects!
guard.
And then just and just crack him.
He, not seeing this coming whatsoever, being used this weak, pitiful mortal, overconfident in his abilities, easily, with some great skill, I might add, and some unnatural speed of your own, you bring the head of the pick down and shatters the top of his skull, and it almost pulps it into nothing as the now undead corpse again falls to the ground clatters into the muck, and he falls still. And you glance back over your shoulder just in time to see Tristan locked in a stalemate, matching strength for strength with the final creature of the night, and they look to be an even make. Marius, a lot hinges on your next roll. You're 10 feet away from Tristan and this other vampire. Sir Tristan, I should keep saying. With the speed that these creatures move, you do not think you will be able to run to them. You're either going to have to make a leap, or you're going to have to throw something to intervene, if you choose to intervene.
Okay.
The choice is yours, Marius.
Uh,
There's also a Bragadine Bonneau bleeding out at your feet.
and he's about to kill Sir Tristan.
You're not sure. It's not looking good, though.
Okay. What would a leap entail? Athletics check, I guess?
It would be an athletics test if you were going to leap.
I guess I will probably leap then, because I don't have any axes to throw.
Okay. You could always throw drinkies on.
I will never throw drinkies on.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the athletics test.
I don't even know how that would work. It's a two-handed weapon.
Hi, man.
Um,
I'm going to let you Kratos that shit. End over end.
End over end. I'll leap. You said
Okay.
athletics test.
Yeah, athletics test, yes.
Okay. That is a 35 out of 43.
Okay, so you easily... You seeing your moment, you leap, and I need you to make me a weapon attack. You will get a plus 30 because it is very unexpected, and he's locked in combat.
Plus 30?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It's a 43 out of
it's not going to matter. I'm sorry.
100 and critical success.
I'm sorry, Marius. As you leap
Damn
in,
it.
and the creature sees you coming, and with a burst of strength, throws Sir Tristan into the tower. As he, and you see blood once again smatter out of his artery, and sees you sailing towards him, and just thrusts his sword, and you drive yourself onto the blade.
Oh.
How many wounds do you have? I don't even know if you shed armor, if this is going to help.
Well, I've got 17 wounds left, plus toughness and armor.
Well, no, then you
Depending
you can shed a piece of armor, and this won't spit you, because it's going to be 15 wounds.
Okay. Yeah. I will...
Whatever your top layer of chest armor is. Do you have plate?
Yeah, I've got plate. No, I've got boiled chest piece is what I got.
Okay, so it's going to slash through the top layer of your boiled chest piece.
Okay.
As you don't quite spit yourself, but you do take a vicious blow, and you roll to the side, clutching at the wound. It is now the creature's turn. And seeing a new threat looming upon him, he is going to attack you.
All right.
You must attempt to defend yourself.
Okay. I rolled the 20 out of...
Oh, God damn it.
110.
Go ahead and roll me another D100.
41.
All right. As he pounces upon your form as you kind of roll to the side with the momentum of the blow, you bring Drengizan up and catch his right sword arm as it's lashing down. And you catch it in such a way that you feel the weight hook through the meat of his arm. And as you follow through with the blow, it completely rips and detaches the limb from the torso as you pull it free, and he starts screaming and begins to step away from you, clutching at the mortal wound. And you pull back once again and smack him clean across the head, caving the side in, and the body goes limp onto the floor. And in that exact moment, all the other rotten corpses assailing the remaining living fall slack and silent. And we're going to go over to Seamus McCready in this moment.
Oh, yeah.
As Seamus, you hear a cryptic and familiar voice. Looking for this? Inches from your ear.
Turn around.
You turn around. Give me a dodge roll.
Oh, shit. Ooh, that is a 15 out of 37.
You, with what you believe to be preternatural speed, begin to dodge a open hand that's moving toward your throat. And as you move downward, obviously the blow had missed you, but somehow the fingers are wrapped around your throat as you and then he hoists you up in the air as you are looking at Sir Michael Freeze. Gone is his plain armor. You can see his smooth alabaster skin, the long, curled, very dark red hair dangling about his shoulders, and his armor is of some elaborate plate mail of some kind of archaic ancient design, and it is encrusted red as if it has been dipped in the blood of many a dead man. And he holds you by the throat against the iron bars, Seamus. Well, at least you have a spine. For now. And he squeezes Seamus. And everything goes dark.
Oh.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken. Since you failed the dodge.
I passed the dodge, right?
Well, you did, but not by enough. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Come on now.
That's true. He is, as we said in our break, super speedy.
Supernatural speed.
Yes, exactly. So, regardless, before we go down any deep, dark rabbit holes that I'll have to censor for YouTube, let's go ahead and let's get with those favorite moments from the cast and crew. How about we start with old Jumbo Smooth there?
It's a tough one. I really enjoyed Seamus being taken away, kidnapped. That was good.
Did you know? Because now you're stuck with Bragadine.
That's true. I enjoyed Bragadine, the man of Bretonia, saying, "Let's just go."
Let's just find a way out.
Trying to help Seamus.
Sure you were. It's like, let's just.
I did give you that speech earlier and gave you all that help.
You did. You stood over me while I was tying that rope and was like, "You can do it." And I was like, "Thanks." But also, Marius Wolf Vampire Slayer.
God damn
like
it!
that
I
too,
knew it was coming. Marius Wolf Vampire Slayer. Of course, we're gonna make a movie about you.
Slayer. Hell yeah!
You and old Abraham can hang out.
I want. Yeah, exactly. Abraham uses that axe. I use a pick. It's cool. I just wanted to see. I could see those vampires' face, and some peasant, was.
It's true. It's so true. Well, let's move on to old Seamus McCready. How about Doobie 209?
I'm glad the bar guys got to come back and finish off the job.
Exactly. I'm glad it did as well.
Thank you, Marius. You missed an attack, and it led to that.
I did.
The only attack you've missed in your entire career in this game.
I know. It's fantastic, isn't it?
I missed other attacks. Usually when I get critted.
But regardless of all that happened, I'm still, running through my mind the fact that a dwarven manufactured thunderer does not shoot as far as Marius can throw an axe.
No. That's per the manual. We're changing that. That's ridiculous.
I've heard
really
Galley make really good things. I don't break and all the stuff that they can build, and yet Marius can throw an axe farther and they can shoot a gun.
Dude, the viewers are going to tell us how the Marius can do that.
He can.
Marius
It's true.
they love him. Chuck Norris of the Warhammer.
Exactly. He's like Chuck Norris.
He is. My tears could cure cancer. Too bad I don't cry.
Jesus. Let's move on to Mr. Galactic. Favorite moments of the night.
Man. So many. One, using leadership to not just help you tie a rope, Marius. Send that momentum earlier. I thought that was sweet. I like that you can do that. I was just checking the rules. That's awesome. But it probably came down to Marius deciding that they're taking my smart idea. Let's sneak out so we can find Seamus. Kind of make me feel jerk and watch me run in, and I don't know. He did really well at first when he was just defending, and then he got killed.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
You hit him once, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, you did. I think you did.
Well, I rolled successes, but his defense was much better. I hit him once.
Yeah.
And I had 2 really successful defenses against him.
Yes. Unfortunately, they're vampires. I don't know if you knew that going in, but they are superhuman. So I will say, I was surprised you even defended the first round, but especially at a -20, you have such a bad handicap right now. So, but it was good. It was good though. So, myself, man, there were so many moments I enjoyed. I did it. Probably my favorite moment is the imagery of the limp dangling Seamus. The bar guy's talons just flying away. And Mary's just like, oh, damn. So there goes my axe.
There goes my axe.
It's fantastic. So that was a good one.
That axe is healed up around his head.
It's true.
Back.
If he didn't shake it loose at some point during the flight, it's just kind of, in the woods somewhere. Maybe you'll find it. Maybe you won't. Who knows? But
you should have a more Bretonian attitude. Stuff comes and goes. Not for the moment.
But a moment, indeed. But man, that was an intense episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Sounds like you guys did as well. And I do have a question to pose to all my lovely viewers out there. To be or not to be? Is our faithful Grail Knight companion no longer with us? Is he in visiting the lady herself? Or is he going to stabilize and perhaps stay with our adventuring party just a little bit longer? The decision is yours. And it's a big one. I'm not going to lie. That's a big decision to make. We'll see how it goes. But regardless, guys, do make sure to vote down in the viewer's decision to help influence the story. We enjoy reading the comment section. I know I do. I know the guys do as well. And we do enjoy all our responses. And thank you very so much for listening, of course. And if you are listening to this in the current timeline, you will of course, be living through the coronavirus pandemic. And I'm probably dating this video for the future. But regardless, all of you out there, please be safe. And practice all of those regulations that are being recommended by your local government. As usual, guys, I've been Jumbo Thick. Thank you very much for watching. And yes, do wash your hands. And we are looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a good day.